Here's $10,000. Be my husband for a week." The words didn't sound like a proposal. They sounded like a transaction, heavy with loneliness and desperation, like a last attempt to buy something money could never truly afford. He stared at the envelope on the table, then at the woman standing before him, powerful, poised, and heartbreakingly empty behind her confident eyes. In that moment, neither of them realized that the week they were about to fake would rewrite the rest of their lives. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in love finding us in the most unexpected ways, take a moment to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that are still waiting to believe. Armin had never imagined his life would come down to an offer like this. Just 2 years earlier, he had been running a small construction business with his father, a man who believed in sweat, honor, and promises. Then his father passed away suddenly, leaving behind debts Armin didn't know existed. The business collapsed under loans and unpaid contracts. His mother's medical bills piled up, and the house he grew up in now felt like a ticking clock counting down to foreclosure. So when Lena Kurana, the reclusive CEO of a tech empire, offered him $10,000 to pretend to be her husband for 1 week, it felt less like a moral dilemma and more like oxygen. Lena was known in business magazines as the Ice Queen of innovation. At 34, she had built a billion-dollar company from scratch. Investors admired her sharp instincts. Employees feared her silence more than her anger. The world saw a woman who had everything: money, power, beauty. What they didn't see was the silence of her penthouse at night, the untouched dinner table, the awards collecting dust while she stared at the city lights alone. Her father had built the company before her. When he fell ill, she left her graduate program abroad to take over. Relatives circled like vultures, whispering that she was too young, too soft, too emotional to lead. She hardened herself to survive. She outperformed every expectation. She saved the company, but somewhere in the process, she locked away her softness so tightly that even she forgot where she had put it. The fake marriage was supposed to be simple. A week of appearances to silence board members who questioned her stability as an unmarried woman leading a global firm. A week of attending a high-profile corporate retreat at a beachside resort where rumors would otherwise multiply. Armin would wear tailored suits, smile for photographs, and stand by her side. After 7 days, he would leave with the money, and their lives would return to separate paths. The first day was awkward. Armin felt out of place among crystal chandeliers and ocean view balconies. He folded his hands too tightly during introductions. He spoke too honestly when investors asked about his career. Lena watched him closely, expecting him to slip, to embarrass her. But instead of pretending to be someone grand, he admitted he was rebuilding his life. His humility surprised her. It unsettled her. At night, when the doors closed and the performance ended, silence filled the suite. They sat at opposite ends of a long couch, the sound of waves crashing outside the only witness to their charade. It was on the third night that something shifted. A storm knocked out the power across the resort. The luxurious lights faded, leaving only darkness and the distant rumble of thunder. Lena, who had faced hostile boardrooms without flinching, felt a childhood fear creep in. She had always been afraid of storms since the night her mother died in a car accident during heavy rain. The memory returned without warning, sharp and suffocating. Armin noticed her trembling hands. Without asking for anything in return, without breaking the boundaries of their agreement, he simply sat beside her and spoke softly about his village, about how as a boy he used to count seconds between lightning and thunder to feel brave. He told her fear was not weakness. It was proof that something mattered. For the first time in years, Lena allowed herself to cry in front of someone. The days that followed were no longer just about maintaining appearances. Armin began helping her in small, unexpected ways. He reminded her to eat when she skipped meals. He listened when she vented about betrayal from a former partner who had once promised love but left when the company struggled. He never once asked about the $10,000 again. It was as if the envelope had lost its power. Lena, in return, saw Armin's quiet resilience. She learned about his mother's treatments, about the shame he felt for failing his father's legacy. Instead of offering charity, she offered guidance. She reviewed his old business plans, pointed out where contracts had gone wrong, and showed him how to negotiate smarter. She didn't treat him as a charity case. She treated him as a partner. By the sixth day, the line between acting and reality blurred. During a gala dinner, an investor made a cutting remark about Armin being a temporary accessory. Before Armin could brush it off, Lena defended him, not as part of the act but with genuine anger. In her voice was something new: loyalty. That night, Armin placed the envelope back on the glass table between them. He told her he couldn't take money for something that no longer felt fake. He admitted that somewhere between the storm and the stolen smiles, he had begun to care. He said he would rather struggle honestly than be paid for pretending to love her. Lena had built an empire on control, but she couldn't control the warmth spreading through her chest. For the first time, she realized love wasn't a weakness that would cost her everything. It was strength shared, not hoarded. She confessed that the week had shown her a version of herself she thought was gone, a woman capable of trusting again. The seventh day arrived, but neither of them packed. Instead of ending the contract, they ended the fear. Lena withdrew the offer and asked him, not as a CEO, not as a transaction, but as a woman, to stay. Armin didn't promise perfection or wealth. He promised effort, honesty, and presence. Months later, Armin reopened a smaller construction firm, this time with smarter planning and ethical investors. Lena didn't fund it secretly. She stood beside him publicly, believing in him the way he had believed in her during the storm. Their relationship wasn't built on grand gestures but on shared breakfasts, difficult conversations, and the courage to be vulnerable. $10,000 had been the beginning, but what they found was worth infinitely more. Before this story ends, I want to ask you something special. Comment the word "believe" if you think love can grow from the most unexpected beginnings. Your single word might inspire someone reading through the comments today. And if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that even the strongest people sometimes just need someone to sit beside them in the dark, please like this video, share it with someone who has stopped believing in second chances, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness. Together, we can spread stories that heal. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories don't start with roses or promises. Sometimes, they start with an envelope on a table, and two lonely hearts brave enough to choose something real.